Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's episode. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We have constant content coming out for you guys every single week. Our usual shout out of thank you to our patrons. We appreciate all those tips and support. It's only going to go towards making the channel better and hopefully adding more games over time. If you're curious about it, go ahead and check the description down below. If anybody has any strategies, any questions, anything they would like us to answer for them or to film, be it with craps or blackjack or baccarat, pai gow, anything at all, please just email us at sincityliving@gmail.com. We absolutely love doing these videos for you guys. And if you're curious about how we could add some more games to our channel sooner with your guys' help, just go down a little further down in the description of the video. We'll put a few details in there of what we would like to do and how we could use your help to do it. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. Today we have another viewer submitted question. And this one is... it's interesting because they ask if we're always talking about how a pass line bet and odds have the best house edge, especially the odds. The odds have no house edge. They are an even money proposition or true odds. And the pass line bet has one of the lowest house edges of any bet in the casino. We're always talking about this. They ask why is it that most strategies don't include the pass line bet and odds when they usually include just place bets, and how come dealers don't generally play pass line bets with odds when we're playing, except when we're the shooters? This is an excellent question, and it goes into something that I had mentioned in another one of our videos, which is the illusion of the house edge, I suppose you could put it. House edge is not the be-all and end-all of everything you're doing when you are gambling. If you're only worried about house edge, then all you would do when you play is do a pass line bet with max odds, and then come bets with max odds. Or you would do you would just bet red or black on roulette all the time. Basically, you would just sit there and grind out one bet, because that has the best house edge, has the smallest house edge. But that is basically, again, grinding. Now, what we're talking about, especially with strategies and with how dealers play, is we're not looking to grind. We are looking to win large amounts of money on a hot roll. We're looking for those rolls that break the statistics. If you go with pure statistical likelihood of all the rolls, then of course pass line bet with odds are the best. Now there's one major issue with the pass line bet with odds, and that is that the best way to play it is with max odds. If you're going to bet it with max odds, then this becomes a very expensive proposition, especially if you're doing come bets or put bets. Now here's the thing. If you're doing put bets, you better be at least a 10 times to 20 times odds place. Otherwise, you're much better off doing place bets. Put bets, because they skip the come, they skip the area where it has the best chance of winning. So therefore, the house edge actually drops. And now when you come into put bets, you're better off doing a place bet, which is what most dealers do. Because if we prefer to be able to pick our numbers or do all the numbers. The biggest thing is we prefer to pick our numbers, and we want to be able to take advantage of the hot roll, that roll that breaks the statistics. So therefore, we tend to go with place bets, and we go with place bets because of a couple different things. One, the entry level is lower. In order to make a pass line bet and odds make sense, you have to have max odds, and you need to be at a place at 10 times or higher odds. So if you're at a $10 minimum bet table, that means that you need to have $110 per number out if you're on a 10 times odds place. $110 per number. So if you wanted to do all the numbers, you're looking at $660 versus just doing 64 across. We would rather do 64 across. Now, of course, you could just do the flat bets. So you just do $60 all the way across, but now you're getting paid even money and you're losing out on the odds. You're losing out on the actual ability to make money in this. So we prefer the place bets. One, because of the entry is lower. And two, because we have more control over these. When you have a pass line bet with odds, you can of course increase that up if you like, but you would have to increase your flat bet in order to increase the odds. Now, every time you increase your flat bet, that's only getting paid even money. So that 5, 10, 15, 25, whatever you're putting on there is going to pay you less than if you were to put 5, 10, 15, 25 more into a place bet. And again, that house edge, it kind of has a little bit of an illusion to it, because once you get past the come out roll, you've lost the primary spot where it wins on a pass line bet or a come bet. So now your house edge isn't quite the same. Once you have the number established, now it's a little bit different. So put bets versus place bets, in general, the same dollar amount is going to pay you better on a place bet than it would on a put bet, unless again you're at 10 times odds. We have a whole separate video discussing place bets versus come bets. So check that one out if you're curious about how they pay and why you need to be at a 10 times place in order to take advantage of it. So the only way to increase your come bets is to increase your flat bet, then to increase your odds. And it can get kind of complicated, especially if you're doing things, if you want to do things like cross press, press two different numbers at once, things along those lines. Also, some places will not allow you to do a put bet. So if you have a come bet with odds, you only got there because of a random roll of the dice. The dice picked your numbers for you. You didn't pick your number. You also are not able to stay on the number unless you have another come bet out there, so you're in an off and on situation. Whereas place bets, you stay up here. And then, again, we have more control. We can do whatever we wish with our bets. If we want to cross-press these numbers, we can. If the 8 rolls, but we want to press the 6, we can. If the 10 rolls and we want to press the inside, we can. We can also just press the 10. We can same bet the 10, we can press it 1 unit, we can press it all the way, we can power press it. It gives us a lot more freedom of control. It also gives us a quicker game. Come bets with odds, especially when you get into put bets, off and on situations, and increasing your bets. Increasing your come bets by increasing your flat bet and then increasing your odds, while it is a valid part of the game and certainly within the rules, is far more complicated than the standard presses that we do 1,000 times every single day. So when we play, again, we want a fast moving or at least a smooth moving game. We want the game to be going at a decent clip. So therefore, we're not likely to do anything except for these place bets. These place bets are going to be what does it for us the best. Also, if you catch that hot roll, which is the entire point behind us playing and behind the entire point of us having these strategies, if we catch that hot roll, we don't want to have to start playing around with moving our bets around. Right? So, if there's a winner 9, like if we're on the pass line bet and there's a winner, we get paid, the point comes off. Now we go over to say, now the point gets marked as 6, and we say, okay, move us, and so we take our change. It's easy right now, we're at the 64, we're at 64 across point, or 54 across, 52 across, whatever it may be. But what about after there's been a few rolls, and these are all pressed up to different amounts? When they're all pressed up to different amounts, now we got to look at it. Let's say I've got $54 on my 8, $35 on my 9, $15 on my 5, $25 on the 10, and $50 on the 4. And now the point lands on one of these, and we have to move it. Now we have to decide how much do we want to move. Do we want to spread it around different areas? Do we want to actually do like a three number shuffle to get our bets placed ideally where we would like them? It gets complicated. You have to really look at it and decide, okay, and I've seen this many times. The point is 6, what do you want to do with your, the point is 6, what do you want to do with your 6? And say the last point was a 9. Point is 6, what do you want to do with your 6? Well, put my 6 on the 8 and then give me a $10 9. That one's fairly easy, but what if it's more complicated? What if you're shuffling around multiple numbers? What if your 4 and 10 are high? You don't really like that because you want the higher dollar amounts to be in the inside. So since you move with bets, you go ahead and move those. And you start shuffling around 2, 3, 4 numbers at a time, get some change here, so on and so forth. It gets confusing, or at least it gets slow. And that's the whole point behind the strategies. It's the whole point behind how dealers play, how we play, how everybody plays. So we want the game to be moving. So therefore, we tend to pick just place bets. We prefer to just go all the way across. It gives us full control. We can do anything we like with these bets. Cross press, power press, individual press different numbers, come down, turn them off, and that's another thing too, by the way. A lot of people like the place bets because a lot of the superstitious players will turn their bets off multiple times throughout a roll. Anytime the dice go off the table, turn my bets off. They'll say turn my bets off for one roll, and we of course let them know bets are off until called back on. Odds work if they have it, unless they pick them up. Hard ways work unless they call them off. We have to call out this whole thing so nobody takes any shots at us, any jackpot possibilities. So dice go off the table. I turn my bets off. Dice just go high. I turn my bets off. Cocktail waitress comes and talks to the shooter. Turn my bets off. I'm not kidding. I see this all the time. It's time for the rotation. It's that 20-minute rotation. So the dealer that's on break is coming back, tapping out the stick. Everybody's moving around. Turn my bets off. People do this stuff all the time. They like these place bets because they have that ability to turn them off. So I hope this answers that question that you guys asked. And I hope you guys find this enlightening, illuminating, and interesting. Thank you guys very much for watching. We will catch you guys next time. Bye now.